Hello guys. So I was asked to talk about Jacob. So for those of you who don't know, Jacob's a really old Ardor leader. He used to be pretty cool back in the day. He still has his uses, but I can already tell you right away, he isn't someone you're going to be using in PvP, and he's more someone you're going to be using in certain PvE strats. So let's start looking down at his kit. First of all, he's a power-based player, meaning that he's going to have high damage. His second stat is Vitality. So again, it's going to be damage, not reflex. Who's again one of the reasons why mid he's going to be pretty weak. His speed is also quite low as it's his lowest stat. So overall, it's a really bad kit for someone who's meant to be in mid line. So this is what we're going to be looking at in the stones. Now, when we look at his ace, increased attack power and reflex of Ardor player, increased attack power and reflex of Ardor player, it's actually not that bad. But of course, if you have something like William, Nabi, those are much better. And this is where the value is going to start coming. You truly care only about his first and last skill. Increase critical damage of team for 15 minutes by 50%. Well, pretty standard. A bunch of people have it. It's always great, and since they have different names, they can stack. Increase attack power within position by 40%. Not that bad either, especially common in certain strats, for example, involving Jean. Recover 50% with a penetration, recover life by 25% first. So pretty much when he tries to penetrate, he's going to generate Spirit, and he's going to be able to heal. The thing is, he doesn't have any form of DR, so he's usually going to die penetrating anyway. And since he doesn't have reflex, there's also a huge chance he's going to be counter reflex. So this skill is honestly kind of pointless. Exploding Charisma, increase team's attack power and critical chance by 15% for 45 minutes of an action, accumulates up to 3 times. Now, overall, when you're looking at this kit, what you're really going to be aiming for is to try to stack the active and exploding charisma. Just like that, you're really going to be able to help your striker and whatever you're going to be using to penetrate in the other lines. Again, this kit is extremely problematic when you're trying to run him in PvP because you're going to get steamrolled and you're going to lose every reflex war, not to mention he's going to die, so it's going to become very pointless. When you look at his chains, it's pretty simple. They're all quite nice, honestly. Char's in the affection, and Ardor loves to use Char most of the time, especially in PV, who's where you're going to be running him most of the time. He has Kevin, another person you're going to want to run. He has Yuri and Choi, other people that are pretty damn cool. He even has Lagai. I'm not honestly a fan of her, but I mean, she has value. There's Renee. All of these players are players you can use, and in Fighting Spirit, there's Leah and Tyler, but it doesn't matter because you don't control the opposing team. So overall, chain-wise, they're pretty damn good, and it's very easy to use. So again, as he doesn't work in PvP, how would you run him in PvE? Well, what most people have done is they're running dual Ardor pass stones. The idea here is pretty much that when he's going to pass, he's going to generate spirits. Again, because you're going to be putting more than one critical damage active buffer in midline. This is very common. And then for the unique, you're going to be running, well, something that gives him speed. So you're going to be running Calm Icicle. Again, the idea here is just to give him the speed to be able to pass the ball as fast as possible. Some other uniques are options. Another one that you can also use is Forozen Spear Tip, who's one of the new ones. Since it's going to give damage increase, it depends where you place Jacob. So there are now a second option that you can place there. For the Dark Stone, most people are just going to go for a Speed Stone, as again, you're trying to go fast and you can't use anything else that generates spirit. So that's pretty much the build you're going to be running. You're going to be usually running him in midline. The most common way of running him is usually having either an active critical damage leader, an active critical damage leader, and a forward passer, or having 3 buffers of the same style, active critical damage leaders, and have a long pass. You penetrate, they do their actives, it goes back, you pass, you keep doing this over and over. This is why Zibro is very popular. Some of the other critical damage leaders are kind of better in my opinion. One I use a lot is Marianne, just because I personally prefer a 45% speed buff over 45% critical rate. But again, it depends who you run. As for example, if you were to be running Miri, having a 45% critical rate buff is actually much more powerful because she transforms critical rate and critical damage. So overall, that's all you pretty much need to know about Jacob. He isn't bad, just his kit has never been updated. So for that reason, he's only really used in PvE in certain one-hit KO style comps where you try to run some utility in it. So hope that answers the question. If you have any other questions, just write them down in the comments. Have a good day, guys.